A good hamstring stretch is not always the easiest thing to do, especially when you're managing drapes and sheets and ensuring that your client feels safe. But for this month's quick tip, I'm going to walk you through a couple of important tricks to get those hamstrings stretched out. And even though my client for this demo is especially flexible, these are tricks that you can use with any client, no matter how tight their hamstrings are. I want to use this video to clarify the difference between a PNF and a PIR, both which fall under the category of an MET, which is just a broad scope of techniques that asks a client to engage a muscle. Here, I'm lifting my client's leg up, stretching out her hamstrings, asking her to engage against my resistance, and then using that post-isometrically contracted state to create a more relaxed or elongated hamstring. Hence, the PIR. Post-isometric relaxation. By definition, though, a PIR doesn't require as much energy as a PNF. So with that first technique, I only had my client push against my resistance with about 10 to 20% of their energy, but for a PNF, you're going to want more of a push. So your body mechanics are going to have to be on point. Instead of using my hands to hold her leg up, I've rested her calf on my shoulder, which sits nicely on top of my core, which sits nicely on top of my hips, and then my legs, and then my feet. The work I'm doing is equally as effective, and I can ask my client to give me more of her energy while I am sitting comfortably, or standing, I should say. If you want to get a little more nuanced with this approach, have your client straighten their leg entirely and then pull their toes towards their knees. This is going to engage all the muscles around the knee to create stability, and dorsiflexing the ankle here is tightening that fascial path that extends from the ischial tuberosity all the way down through the knee and into the calcaneus. This is a really cool trick if you think about it, because if you've just used either a PIR or a PNF to focus on the hamstrings, you're now activating reciprocal inhibition to engage the antagonistic muscles, the quads, so that the hamstrings relax even more, while at the same time creating a deep stretch in the posterior fascia. This intermingling of techniques that address the contractile fibers of one group of muscles, their relationship to the antagonistic muscles on the other side of a bone, and their interwoven behavior with the fascia that surrounds all of them and ties them into the various moving parts of the leg, is an encompassing approach that your clients will feel. As an added bonus technique, keep your client's knee flexed, sinking into the more inferior portion of the hamstrings, extend the knee out, creating a deep pin and stretch, and then slide down into the more superior attachments at the ischial tuberosity and play around with continuing to extend the knee and bring the hip into a deeper flexion. If your client can't bring their knee all the way to their chest or extend their knee straight from this position, which most people can't, that's okay. Bring their joints through the range of motion that they are capable of and sink deep into these fibers while they're placed into positions that are not just extended straight flat on the table. Changing your approach and changing their perspective can change everything for the client. I made a thing that is a product that supports the work you do. For this kind of work, I specifically made for your inflammation. Next week's From the Vault video dives into retraining the rib cage and the muscles that surround it to help your clients find a new PR with their sleep. And please, because this is the world we live in, don't forget to like and subscribe and head over to my website for free shipping on your first order.